Apocalypse Now is easily the best version of Heart of Darkness. The novel itself is heavy-going. If you get into it, it's brilliant. If not, it's a hard slog. Describing the plot of Heart of Darkness, Wikipedia says, "In the morning, Marlow's boat is enveloped by a thick fog. The steamboat is later attacked by a barrage of arrows, and the helmsman is killed. Marlow sounds the steam whistle repeatedly, frightening the attackers away. After landing at Kurtz's station, a man boards the steamboat, a Russian wanderer who strayed into Kurtz's camp. Marlow learns that the natives worship Kurtz, and that he has been very ill of late. The Russian tells of how Kurtz opened his mind and seems to admire Kurtz even for his power and his willingness to use it. Marlow suggests that Kurtz has gone mad. Kurtz went from being an idealist to a realist. We see now that we have been on the same journey. When you surround yourself with people of quality, you imagine that humanity is the same, and it's just a question of releasing the quality everywhere." How wrong? German Field Marshal Moltke the Elder said, "No plan of operations extends with certainty beyond the first encounter with the enemy's main strength." This was abbreviated to, "No plan survives first contact with the enemy." Mike Tyson converted this into the infinitely and brutally memorable, "Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face." The same goes for any plan for humanity. Whatever plan you had before you met humanity goes out of the window as soon as you encounter the sort of humans that you would never spend a single second with, given the choice. You meet these weirdos, freaks, and anomics in their legions on social media. You suddenly realize that the human problem is totally different from how you imagined it. You always imagined that toppling the rich elites was the #1 problem. Now you realize there's an even bigger problem. The lumpen proletariat, the underclass, the human garbage, the army of anomics that despise everyone and everything and try to wreck and ruin everything and drag them all down to their level. Misery loves company, as they say. The insanity of these people is spreading like the most infectious of diseases. Social media is a swamp, a mental illness generator, reflecting the mental illness of the bitter, twisted malcontents and anomics who obsessively spread their cancerous thoughts. We ran right into these people. There's no one they hate more than the illuminated, their opposite. Social media is at one end controlled by the worst of humanity, the lunatic obsessives and compulsives with infinite time on their hands because they are unemployed and unemployable, and at the other end by big tech corporate algorithms designed to maximize audiences, and increasingly seeing absolute mediocrity as the best means to do that, so as not to offend anyone and not attract any political heat. And thus we have the insane anomics and the insane woke driving every agenda. The sane people, the people of quality, the exceptional, have no traction. You've seen this play out exactly with our material. The woke mediocrities loathed it, and the anomic nutcases were driven even madder by it. So it goes. No project like ours can ever succeed given the anomic and woke climate of the times. Between the devil and the deep blue sea, Scylla and Charybdis. Wikipedia says, Marlow observes the station and sees a row of posts topped with the severed heads of natives. Around the corner of the house, the manager appears with the pilgrims, bearing a gaunt and ghost-like Kurtz. The area fills with natives ready for battle, but Kurtz shouts something from the stretcher and the natives retreat. The pilgrims carry Kurtz to the steamer and lay him in one of the cabins. The manager tells Marlow that Kurtz has harmed the company's business in the region, that his methods are unsound. The Russian reveals that Kurtz believes the company wants to kill him, and Marlow confirms that hangings were discussed. Kurtz created a private army. Only the people with armies behind them can win. It's all a numbers game. It's all about force. Who can and will do the hangings and who will hang? Always the same question. How many divisions do you have? How big is your army? On the journey back from the far station, Kurtz dies, and Marlow almost dies too, but manages to get home, albeit as a very changed man. Wikipedia says, upon his return to Europe, Marlow is embittered and contemptuous of the civilized world. When Marlow visits Kurtz's fiancée, she is deep in mourning, although it has been more than a year since Kurtz's death. She presses Marlow for information, asking him to repeat Kurtz's final words. Marlow tells her that Kurtz's final word was her name. That name is never given, but Marlow was lying anyway. Marlow spoke only of horror. We encountered that same horror when we discovered an absolutely horrific truth, that people are not serious. We are serious people with serious intent. We want the world to be changed beyond recognition. We want the human race to be transformed. If we had an army, we would be in the field, fighting our enemies. Alexander the Great Hellenized the world, a wonderful achievement, and we want to illuminate it, an even more wonderful achievement. And Alexander wept, seeing as he had no more worlds to conquer. Can you imagine the horror, then, of encountering those who are serious about nothing? These people are everywhere. Trite, trivial people with small minds leading small lives. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people." The small-minded are ubiquitous. Their social media pages are all over the place. An insane mix of bleating, whining, bad jokes, self-pity, grandiose statements, self-help drivel, and half-hearted support for half-hearted causes. In every way a reflection of chaotic, dysfunctional, anomic minds. These people can barely manage their own lives. Never mind do anything serious with them. We hate these people. We cannot stand people without a serious cause, serious intent, serious focus, a serious tone, a serious way of presenting themselves. You can and should laugh now and again, but you must be capable of seriousness. Most people are not. War is a great thing because it forces people to be serious. Seriousness comes only when the stakes are raised. Nothing is at stake in the trivial lives of most people. Heraclitus said, "War is the father of all and the king of all. Some he has marked out to be gods and some to be men. Some he has made slaves and some free." That's Hegel's master-slave dialectic right there. The world has turned into a freak show, a comedy with no jokes or only bad ones. The quality of the human race has collapsed. The signs of decadence and degeneration are everywhere. People are of staggeringly low caliber. Much of the astonishing nonsense believed by people today is only possible in a world full of, let's face it, subhumans. Nietzsche spoke of revaluing all values. Things are much worse than that. We need to completely reconstruct humanity. It has gone so badly wrong, strayed so far from the path, that its annihilation would be nothing but cosmic justice. Anyone fighting for the preservation of this humanity is the enemy of human potential. Only the highest humans are capable of glory. And what is life without glory? The woke detest glory. They are the Ignavi. T.S. Eliot said, "Unreal city, under the brown fog of a winter dawn, a crowd flowed over London Bridge. So many. I had not thought death had undone so many. Sighs, short and infrequent, were exhaled, and each man fixed his eyes before his feet, flowed up the hill and down King William Street, to where St. Mary Woolnoth kept the hours with a dead sound on the final stroke of 9. The unreal city is everywhere now. Or should we call it the hyperreal city? Or should we call it Los Angeles, the most disgusting city on earth? Full of the most disgusting people on earth. Just look at the leader of Hyperianism, Neogenianism. Monsters really do exist. You didn't imagine it. They truly are out there, and they're coming for you. It's time for the Dragon Slayers to reassemble. Your time has come again. You are the real fire breathers. Scorched earth. Burn it all down. Incinerate every damn thing. Stand on the burned fields of ruined Carthage and know that you were right. Only the fire purifies. Only the fire sanctifies. Holy fire, listen to our fire sermon. With these words, we shall set fire to the world. We shall make the earth pure again. This will happen to you. Orson Welles said, "You aren't going to see this picture. This picture is going to happen to you." Are you going to have a life, or is life going to happen to you? How much control have you exerted in your life? Most people are blown wherever events push them. They cannot make a stand. They cannot stand their ground. They can barely stand up. Even asking someone to stand straight is greeted as if it were an order by a fascist.